Hello everyone, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, coming to you today from Kayfabe Studios with another special, and we are finally here at WrestleMania week, and I have a lot in store for you today, so buckle up and let's go for a ride. Throughout the show, I'm going to be breaking down some of the major matches and going through my predictions on the entire card. So get ready and let's go. So starting off with things, we're talking about the kickoff show that is taking place on the WWE Network as well as the USA Network. It's been announced that there are 3 matches on the kickoff show. The Cruiserweight title match between Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. They've had a great little rivalry over the last couple weeks, and Nese winning the #1 contenders title tournament. And, Nese is from there, so I think he's going to have a good showing. I think Murphy winds up keeping the title, though. Also on the pre-show, we have 2 Battle Royals. The Women's Battle Royal and the Men's Battle Royal. The Women's Battle Royal is not really full yet. They've announced 13 competitors, so I foresee some surprises happening. But by the time it's over with, I have to say Asuka's got to stand tall. Asuka was a late addition to this Battle Royal, considering she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship a week ago, which has made a lot of people very upset. I am one of those people, so I'm really hoping to see Asuka get the spotlight here and get moving in the right direction again. Then we have the Men's Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This one it's kind of got me a little agitated. There's a lot of guys in this Battle Royal that are makeshift tag teams, regular tag teams, but there's 3 people that stand out for me in this Battle Royal that should have matches on the main card. Braun Strowman is one of them, and the Hardy Boys, in my opinion, who are future WWE Hall of Famers, are also in the Battle Royal, but should also be on the main show. From where I sit, the Battle Royal, I think, was made for Braun to win. That's who I'm going to go with, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a mystery entrant pop up and win the thing as a total surprise. So that is what you will see on the kickoff show prior to WrestleMania. So going into WrestleMania, there's a lot of speculation about the tag team divisions, particularly the men's. The men's tag team division hasn't really seen the spotlight for a long time, and I know there were various tag teams that have complained and pushed and been stubborn about how they're being presented on television and on pay-per-view. Unfortunately, there hasn't been much build-up for the tag team division going into WrestleMania, and most of the build-up has been all in 1 or 2 weeks. So we got to start with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, a match that was just made on Tuesday night, the Tuesday night before WrestleMania, and it is a fatal 4-way match. It is the champions, the Usos, versus The Bar, versus Nakamura and Rusev, and the final team being Aleister Black and Ricochet. I like the match. I think all 4 teams are talented in their own right, but again, not a whole lot of build-up. Now, if you ask me for a prediction, I personally, from my fan favorites, I would like to see The Bar get their WrestleMania moment. Do I think it'll happen? I'm not sure, because unfortunately, the tag team division does not have a clear direction right now. So honestly, whoever wins will honestly be a surprise to me. And on the Raw side, originally I thought it would be Aleister Black and Ricochet versus The Revival. But the Monday night before WrestleMania, The Revival retained their tag titles by countout, and I honestly didn't think they were going to let go of Aleister and Ricochet against The Revival, but they have. What most people did not see, because it was not aired on Raw, is the team of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins challenged The Revival to a tag team title match at WrestleMania. The Revival said they would take it into consideration. meaning that we'll probably have an impromptu match at WrestleMania for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Now the other tag team match are the Women's Tag Team Championships, currently held by Sasha and Bayley, the Boston Hug Connection. They will be taking on the Iconics, Nia Jax and Tamina, and the Divas of Doom, consisting of Natalya and the returning Beth Phoenix. I think this is a self-explanatory match. I think this is a match that gets Sasha and Bayley more over than they already are. I don't foresee a title change happening because, you know, the Boston Hug Connection are the initial champions, and I think they're due for a long title reign. So that is the tag team matches we're seeing at WrestleMania. Like I said, there hasn't been a lot of build-up, but hopefully after WrestleMania, this will mark the start of a better build-up for the tag team division. So there are two title matches that are very low-key this Sunday. They are the United States Championship match and the Intercontinental Championship match. First, I want to start with the United States Championship match. It is between Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio, and I thought this match was kind of thrown out of nowhere. I originally thought maybe it would be a multi-man match because R-Truth was having his moments with the United States title, and Andrade was also in the hunt for the United States title. So at the very least, maybe another Fatal 4-Way, maybe a triple threat without R-Truth, or even add more guys to the United States title. However, though, Rey Mysterio was injured on Monday Night Raw versus Baron Corbin, and his status is now up in the air. So with that being said, you know, if Rey cannot perform on WrestleMania, does Joe have a match? And if so, who takes his place? Well, the most logical person for me right now is Kevin Owens, because he does not have a match. He's not in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or at least he's not advertised. So maybe if Rey Mysterio can't go, might see a Kevin Owens appearance. And as for the Intercontinental Championship, I don't need to go into detail because Demon Finn Balor is here, and Demon Finn Balor never loses. So Bobby Lashley, it's been nice having you as Intercontinental Champion. So going into WrestleMania, there are 5 advertised non-title matches, which is pretty interesting because WWE used to have a lot of titles. I remember at one point, WrestleMania 17, there was like 7 or 8 titles, and there was all title matches and maybe a few non-title matches. But this year, you know, WWE is fitting in more guys without titles, which is a good thing. And so, five of these matches, you know, there's a good chunk that I'm going to enjoy, and others not so much. But the ones I am going to enjoy, I want to talk about. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Phenomenal build-up, no pun intended. Their promos have been great, very hard-hitting, very truthful in a lot of ways, and they seem to have a really good chemistry on the mic together and in the ring together. I honestly could see Randy Orton versus AJ Styles being match of the night. Now, if you were to ask who I think is going to win, that's a tough one. I think Styles wins, but I think the feud continues even after WrestleMania. Another match that has my interest is Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. You know, a few months ago, Roman Reigns wasn't even supposed to be on WrestleMania. He was battling leukemia, unsure of his future, but now he's come back. Whereas Drew McIntyre has been on a roll, destroying everything in his path. Now, if you ask me, I think Drew McIntyre needs to win more. Roman has had a lot of chances to shine, and I'm sure he's going to shine once again in the future. But I really feel like right now is Drew McIntyre's time to shine and get a bigger push than he already has. Now we're on to the matches that I'm not thrilled about. And the first being Triple H versus Batista. This has been one of the worst build-ups I've ever seen in my life. The initial attack that Batista launched on Ric Flair, it was a good start. It was interesting. and Triple H followed it up with a few great promos. But there's been no physical interaction. They really haven't come face to face, and Batista came out and delivered a 4-word promo on Monday Night Raw leading up to WrestleMania. I personally do not know why this match is taking place. I think Triple H might be rushing back too soon from his injury, and we don't know how Batista's going to look after being away for 5 years from the ring. Now, if you talk about overall backlash from the fans in terms of matches, there's no greater backlash right now than Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. This is Kurt Angle's farewell match. He's been in the wrestling business for 20 years, and I feel like Kurt Angle deserves so much better, and I know the fans feel like that too. I'm hoping, and this is a big stretch because whenever you go out losing. I'm hoping they correct the situation and Kurt Angle goes out winning, because that's how Kurt Angle deserves to go out. Now the other non-title match is Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere. This match I'm having a hard time with because I do not believe in Shane McMahon as a heel and really do not believe in The Miz as a face. That's just my preference. If the roles were reversed, I might be a little more interested. But, I think The Miz is in for a monster push and is going to have a lot of momentum after WrestleMania. I could very well see him in the title picture again, but we'll have to see. I think The Miz wins this match. Now, one match that has not been advertised, but multiple sources have reported on. John Cena will be at WrestleMania. Who his opponent is, we don't know. I could speculate all day long. I could probably list you 100 guys, but I'm just going to tune in and wait and see. I want to be surprised. I want to be captivated. I want to be excited. Because after all, that's what WrestleMania is supposed to be all about. So the two main matches, title matches at WrestleMania for the men's division are the WWE Championship match and the Universal Championship match. Now, the WWE Championship match has had a lot of twists and turns to it. And honestly, we don't even know if Kofi Kingston was originally supposed to be Daniel Bryan's challenger. But here we are. And now the time has come. I truly believe that it's Kofi Kingston's time to shine. I think they would be making a big mistake if they didn't put the title on Kofi after all these twists and turns and all the overtones we've seen. So I really think you see Kofi Kingston coming out as WWE Champion. And you know what? I'll be happy. I'll be excited. I'll cheer for it because that's what you're supposed to do. On the Raw side of things, you have Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. And Brock has only wrestled one time this year, and it was at the Royal Rumble against Finn Balor. My heart tells me that Seth should win this match because it's the right thing to do. Seth has been the workhorse of WWE for the last 4 to 5 years now and has basically carried the company on his back other than the time he had the knee injury. Unfortunately, I know how Vince McMahon thinks and how Vince McMahon books things. So unfortunately, in my mind, I think Brock Lesnar is retaining the WWE Universal Championship, and we are stuck with him indefinitely till his contract expires or he gets tired of being in WWE. So the main event of WrestleMania, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Originally it was supposed to be for the Raw Women's title, but a week ago, Charlotte Flair defeated Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. And Stephanie McMahon made the announcement that it will be a winner-take-all match, meaning whoever wins the match has both titles. Now that does not mean the titles are being unified. I want to address this issue because many people are speculating and throwing guesses out of their rear end. People need to understand that SmackDown will be going to Fox Sports in October and that SmackDown and Raw are going to remain separate for the foreseeable future. But we'll get to that at a later date. This match, monumental. monumental for the company, monumental for women, monumental for, female athletes in general. So, at the end of the day, after all the craziness, after all 3 women being arrested on Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch will stand tall at the end of WrestleMania 35. So WrestleMania 35 is scheduled to be close to 7.5 hours long between the pre-show and the main card. There are a lot of things to be excited about. I'm hoping everybody gets a decent amount of time during their matches. I'm excited for this year's WrestleMania because it has the opportunity to right some wrongs that have been made over the last couple of years. I think it's going to be fun to watch. Excited to watch it with friends, and I'm even more excited for the aftermath on Raw and SmackDown the next 2 nights after. But after WrestleMania, coming up, we have the Superstar Shakeup the week after WrestleMania. And so that's going to be one thing to look forward to, and one thing I'm sure I'll be back to talk about. So with that being said, my name is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports. We have been live from Kayfabe Studios, and I really hope you all enjoy WrestleMania 35.